I walked into the apartment expecting silence, maybe the smell of stale pizza. Instead, I found the two people I least wanted to see together. If irony were a person, it would have slapped me across the face right then. Elias looked like he had been caught stealing sunlight. His messy blonde hair fell into his eyes, the same eyes that used to look at me like I was the only real thing in his universe. Beside him sat Leo, my new roommate, the guy everyone swore was too shy to even order his own coffee. Apparently not too shy to sit on a bed with my ex. I stood in the doorway, gripping the knob like it was the only thing keeping me anchored to the earth. Neither of them said a word at first. Elias's face twisted with something between regret and the kind of fondness that made my chest hurt. Leo stared at the blanket, then at me, then quickly back at the blanket, as if trying to disappear into the fabric. The air was thick enough to choke on, and yet, in the strangest, most disorienting way, something about the moment felt staged by fate. Not kind fate, but the kind that laughed while throwing curveballs. "You have got to be kidding me," I muttered. Elias stood slowly, like approaching a wild animal, which, given the situation, might have been accurate. "Jay, wait, this isn't what it looks like." Funny, because it looked exactly like my roommate and my ex sitting on the same bed. Leo flinched. His cheeks were flushed, but not with shame. Something softer, something warm, something that made my heart skip in a way I didn't have time to unpack. I tried to leave, but Elias took a step closer, his voice breaking. "Just listen, please." I hated that the sound of his pleading still tugged at me. We had broken up months ago, and yet he still had a key to emotions I thought I had locked away. I looked at Leo instead because Leo was safe. Leo was quiet, predictable, the kind of gentle that didn't confuse my heartbeat. But the way he was looking at me now was not gentle. It was terrified and hopeful at the same time. "Jay," he whispered, "we weren't hiding anything from you. We were trying to figure out how to talk to you first." "Talk to me," I repeated. My chest was buzzing. "About what?" Elias exhaled. "About us." There was no universe where that sentence should have made sense. I stared at him, then at Leo, then back at him. Us meaning who? Because I'm seeing three people in this room and zero explanations. The two of them exchanged a quick glance, some silent communication passing between them. It made me feel like I had stepped into a conversation that had started long before I arrived. Elias rubbed the back of his neck. "Leo told me he liked someone he shouldn't like, someone he didn't want to ruin things with. And when he told me who it was, I panicked." Leo squeezed his hands together. "I didn't want to mess up your friendship, or your past, or anything." But Elias didn't freak out about the part one expected. My throat felt dry. "What part did you expect?" Leo met my eyes, and there was nothing shy about him then. "The part where I told him it was you." My pulse slammed against my ribs. Elias stepped closer, voice lower now, gentler. "And when he told me he liked you, I realized something I should have said months ago. Something I thought I lost the right to say." The room felt too bright, too close, too intimate. "Say what?" I whispered. Elias swallowed hard. "That I never stopped loving you." My breath hitched. Leo, instead of looking jealous or hurt, nodded. Because he knew. Because somehow they understood each other in ways I didn't expect. And then Leo said very quietly, "We both want you. But only if you want us to." The world tilted. My back hit the wall because I needed something solid to hold me up. The two of them stood there, not crowding me, not pushing, just waiting. Elias with trembling vulnerability, Leo with soft, steady courage. And for the first time in months, I didn't feel alone. I felt seen, wanted, needed. Elias reached a hand toward me but didn't touch me. "Jay, just stay. Let us explain everything." Leo nodded, his voice barely a breath. "Please stay." The three words I never expected to hear from him. The three words that broke something open inside me. I closed my eyes, breathing in the warm glow of the apartment, the trembling hope in their voices, the confusing, terrifying, beautiful possibility hanging in the air. And I stayed. The door clicked shut behind me with the softest sound, but it echoed like a choice I couldn't take back. My legs felt unsteady, like the floor had turned to water under me. Elias and Leo didn't rush me or take another step. They just stood there, giving me space, letting me breathe. And somehow that made the situation even more impossible to walk away from. Elias spoke first, voice trembling in a way I had never heard from him. I didn't come here to get him involved in our past. He gestured weakly at Leo. But the more we talked, the more I realized it wasn't about the past at all. It was about what I didn't want to lose in the future. Leo's voice followed, soft but steady. And I wasn't trying to take anything from you. I just wanted a chance to be honest. With you, with him, with myself. They were both looking at me, not with expectation but with hope. And the thing about hope is, when it's pointed at you, it feels like sunlight and fire at the same time. I sank down onto the edge of the second bed, pulling in a shaky breath. So what exactly are you asking me? Elias took one slow step forward. Not forgiveness. Not yet. I know I hurt you. I know I messed everything up. You did? I whispered, the memory of our breakup flickering through me like a cracked film reel. He nodded, pain written in every line of his face. And if you never want anything with me again, I'll accept that. But I need you to know the truth. I looked at him, my chest too tight. What truth? That I never stopped wanting a future with you. Even when I thought I had ruined the chance. Leo sat beside me, careful, leaving a respectful gap of air between us. His voice was quieter. And I need you to know that I didn't fall for you because of him. I fell for you because of you. Because you're kind and stubborn. And you make people feel like they matter. Even when you're hurting. Something twisted deep inside me. Something warm and terrifying. I rubbed my hands together. So you two are. What? Together? Both of them shook their heads immediately, almost in sync. No, Leo said. We're not. We talked. Elias added. About you. And about each other. About how none of this makes sense unless we're all honest about how we feel. I let out a breath that wavered. And how do you feel? Elias looked at me like the question cracked him open. I want you in my life. In whatever way you choose. And I want to try again. If you'll let me. Leo's hand, warm and hesitant, brushed against mine. And if trying again means all of us trying, then I'm not scared of that. Not if it's with you. Not if it's with him, too. I stared at our hands, almost touching, my pulse thrumming. This was insane. Absolutely insane. The kind of thing people joke about but never actually live through. And yet, it didn't feel like chaos. It felt like clarity. But why now? I whispered. Elias knelt down in front of me like he was offering me something sacred. Because sometimes you don't realize you're running until you stop. And talking to Leo made me stop. Long enough to understand that everything I've been trying not to feel for you never went away. It got louder. Leo's voice was soft. And sometimes you meet someone who changes the way you breathe. Someone who makes you want more than you were brave enough to want before. My throat tightened. You're both crazy. Elias gave a shaky smile. Probably. Leo nodded. Definitely. Despite myself, a tiny laugh escaped me. And that tiny laugh cracked open something locked inside me for months. I looked between them, both waiting, both willing, both terrified I'd walk away. I swallowed. If I stay, what happens? Elias's voice warmed. Then we talk. Then we slow down. Then we figure out what all of this means together. Leo added, and nothing happens without you wanting it. Ever. The gentleness in his voice hit me harder than any confession. I closed my eyes. And for a moment, all the noise faded, leaving only the truth I had been trying not to face. I didn't want to leave. When I opened my eyes, the room felt different. Warmer. Like possibility had taken shape in the air around us. I reached out first this time. My hand found Leo's. His breath caught, but he didn't move, just let his fingers slowly curl around mine. Steady and sure. Elias exhaled like he'd been underwater for months. His hand hovered near mine, waiting, asking without words. I turned my palm up, offering him the same trust one didn't think I'd ever give him again. His fingers trembled as they laced with mine, a single tear slipping down his cheek before he could hide it. We sat there, the three of us, hands intertwined like a confession we finally dared to say out loud. Leo whispered, "So you'll stay?" I nodded, the decision settling into place like it belonged there all along. "I'll stay." Elias let out a breath that turned into a laugh, shaky but full of something bright. Leo smiled, small and radiant, like sunrise. For the first time in a long time, the ache in my chest loosened. The past didn't disappear. The pain didn't magically dissolve. But something new bloomed in its place. Something honest. Something fragile. Something ours. And when the three of us leaned together, foreheads touching in the soft golden glow of the room, I felt it fully. The beginning of a love none of us had expected, but all of us were finally brave enough to choose. A beginning that felt, unmistakably, like home. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.